Welcome to the groundbreaking podcast that will reshape your life. Get ready for an inspiring journey of self-discovery and personal transformation. This is Redesign Your Reality with me, your host, the seasoned entrepreneur and spiritual guide, Randy Lyman.
Good afternoon.
Hi. So I think that a lot of people will be drawn to your message who are on a journey of self-improvement and looking to or open to, they're looking for something kind of a healing journey. You could categorize my personal background as colorful. It's been a lot of substance abuse, a couple suicides, some cancer.
Not you personally.
Not me personally. I clearly haven't committed suicide multiple times, but lots of stuff in my family. Okay. So I have tried a lot of different modalities or let's say modalities for finding healing or finding peace or finding calm. And I think, at least I'm from Texas, if you tell people in Texas you're struggling or like your marriage is struggling or you're
toughen up
or you have an alcoholic parent or whatever, that or they'll say you should go to therapy.
Okay.
And so I've done a lot of talk therapy, but I wouldn't say it's super emotional.
Of course not.
It's much more cognitive.
Absolutely.
To where I'm talking about what I think my problem is.
It's clinical.
It's clinical. So how does this differ for someone who doesn't understand? If they say, I've already been to therapy, I probably don't need this whole thing. What would you tell them?
Find a therapist who can irritate the hell out of you and bring you right into the middle of your challenges.
Your emotions.
Your emotions. Have to. There's no other way. The mind, I don't understand clinical therapy, so I can't speak to that. But anything that keeps us in our mind and thinking keeps us away from feeling. And without the feeling, there's no healing. I mean, that sounds cliche, but it's really true.
Right.
Without the feeling, there's no healing because if we can't feel the wounds, we can't heal the wounds. We can think about it all we want. I had somebody who I worked with 20 years ago. They're very close to their father. Their father passed, and they weren't getting past it. And we talked about it, and I told them, you can't heal your emotional wounds by thinking about them. You have to go take time to feel. I gave him a week off, pay, said go out and feel. He's a great guy. And he went out, spent time in nature. He felt what he needed to feel, and he came back better. It took him a long time still to get past it, but he started making progress when he was able to distract his mind and get into the feelings that came through his body in the present moment.
Okay, so here's my question, though, to follow up on that. Is sometimes I struggle, maybe other people don't, maybe I'm the only one, but I struggle to see the pattern in my own life. And we have a mutual friend that we were talking to recently, and you noticed a pattern, and she was like, oh my gosh, I guess I do have that pattern of a certain feeling, but I don't know that she had recognized it. And I have that in my own life where some traumas are so obvious, but even if the trauma is obvious, like you lived with an alcoholic for 20 years or you married someone who cheated on you, the feeling associated with that is not always, I find, as clear.
No, the feeling's never clear.
So how do we help people dig into that or unlock it or find it so that they can clear it?
That's a challenge because most people aren't open to having someone take them to a deeper place to feel the pain. So, and people I know well, and they trust me, I'm able to help them get to the pain. We talk about it, or they allow me to antagonize them, to take them to a place where they feel that pain and it comes up. And that sounds crazy. Why would you take this poor person who's hurting and make them hurt more? But when we find anything that helps us hurt more, and our mind understands the process of, I'm going to feel it really deeply and let it go, then we can get there. But if any part of our mind tries to protect us, we're not going to get to the healing. We can't feel it. And we have to, for me, one of the best ways is to be tricked into it. And the universe has lots of ways to take us there. And I know that's really vague, but I want a situation where my emotions are going to be reactivated. by something that makes me feel whatever I need to feel, the negative emotion, in a place where I'm not out in public
Right.
and I'm not going to be embarrassed. And then for me, breathing or healing music works. Or not healing music, sad music works for me for healing. Tapping works really well. EFT works well. A bat and a pillow works really good because now it's physical. I'm in my body while I'm doing something and my mind is focused on hitting the pillow. And my mind is participating in the activity and it feels happy while I'm feeling my body. So anytime we sit down with somebody and talk about it and we talk about thinking our way through it, we're not going to get there. If we talk about our feelings and our emotions and we talk about the emotional release and the experiences we've had, then we can get closer to it. Did I answer your question?
Yes. And I think for people listening who are newer to this, I have a question and you can say that you either agree or disagree.
Okay.
So if so yesterday I was telling a friend about just a short period of my life and she was like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. But I could talk about it very objectively at this point. There was some truly crazy stuff, but it doesn't bring up a lot of emotion. That period or describing it doesn't.
I understand.
So does that mean that I have healed most of those things, or does it mean that I've just suppressed it for so long?
That means you're really good at suppressing it because you're intelligent, you can justify things and you can think about other things and you're strong-willed and you can just hold it down. The people who are the smartest and the strongest have the hardest time evolving and getting to their emotions.
Oh, jolly. But so how do I know then if I've released? How would I know if I'm just objectifying and suppressing or I've released and healed? How would that
look at the
be?
irritations in your life. If we still have irritations, we have something to heal.
Okay. And we just don't know exactly where the root cause is.
Then we have to start looking at what outside of me is happening, what is happening to me when this person or situation outside of me is occurring. And then aside from how it affects me physically, what do I feel? Can I put a label, a name on that feeling? Is it depression, jealousy, guilt, anger, whatever it is? And then I have to use my mind to say, okay, I understand now what this feeling is. I'm willing to go back into my past through my mind and to look at when it may have happened to me. And then I have to have some sort of a technique to feel it completely. Breathing, tapping, cold plunge, whatever it is, to be in my body, to be in a place where I'm feeling my physical body in order to have the old emotion come through and physically feel it. But we have to go through those processes. But the indicator that you asked about is how do I know? It's because you have irritations in your life. Even if somebody makes your coffee wrong.
Right. So it's whatever triggers you now. It's connecting that to sort of a pattern or an event or
100%.
a source in the past.
See, Source doesn't want us to have all of these challenges in our life except for growth. And when we work through all of the healing, then there's no reason for the challenges. If people think challenges are random, all the problems and irritations are never random. They're absolutely never random. Every single irritation is in response to something specific within us.
Okay, so this is building on it, but a slight left turn. For people who are thinking, this sounds depressing, there's a lot there, because there could be a lot there. What words of encouragement would you give them if they're like, this is so much?
Yesterday you said something about 12-step, or what was it you said? When we were talking about different ideas and philosophies for healing, you said it'll set you free, but
the truth will set you free, but first it'll piss you off.
Yeah, there you go.
That in AA a lot.
100%. The truth will set us free. The emotional release will set us free, but first it'll piss us off and it'll irritate us, and it'll be a challenge. That's exactly what it is. We can't just step directly into the bliss.
Right. So it's just having the courage to go through the desert before you get to the oasis.
Courage with a capital C, desert with a capital D, but the oasis is all capital letters, and that's the beauty.
Right, and that's where we build a lot of who we are, I think, is in the desert. Would you agree?
All of it.
Right.
That's why we're here.
Right. And you've never met an interesting person who had an easy life, right? Probably not.
Well, I've never met anybody who had an easy life, really, but now that you mention that, one of the people I've met who supposedly is one of the most evolved souls I've ever passed in my life was pretty boring. So I don't know if they came in evolved and their life was boring. I haven't talked to this person in over 30 years. So They'll have no idea who they are, and that's probably better. But the point was, they were just calm and at peace, and their life didn't seem that interesting. Now, they were probably internally extremely happy.
Right.
But I didn't see anything interesting in the interaction or in the communications with them other than they were intelligent and calm and happy. But life is about the experience, and the experience is everything from the wonderful to the extremely challenging. And that's why we're here, because it's exciting and it's really fulfilling to overcome our challenges.
Yeah. So if you were going to sum up, is it worth it to go through the desert to find the peace and freedom in the other side?
Absolutely. Oasis in all capital letters. Absolutely. All capital letters. Absolutely. I still have challenges in my life, but I've been through enough and through so many pains and old emotions that I'm glad I went through every step of it. Absolutely. My life is wonderful now.
And I guess if this video pissed you off, maybe it's the truth setting you free.
Amen.
Hopefully. All right. I hope that helps someone.
Thanks, Elizabeth.
Bye.